Here we go. Now everyone can hear me. Hi, legends. What is up? What is happening with the price of Bitcoin? Went away for. Wait, let me pause this. Okay, cool. How's everyone doing? What is happening? Mr. 𝗬 is back and hopefully rejuvenated. Yes, I absolutely feel rejuvenated. Nice little sunburn here on my face as well. You can't really see it here with the camera. I came back to a nice little surprise. A nice, small little dump here to the downside. And the world is once again freaking out. Okay, I just want to pop out these chats. For some reason, my chats are not working here. Let me just do this. Pop out. Do this. So I can see all the chats on this screen. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Roman, hey, welcome to the live stream. Frank, first like, thank you so much. Crypto Big Brains, welcome. Welcome back, 𝗬 Where have you been, bro? I took a little bit of a break. Okay, just to reset my mind. Just want to make sure that the levels are right. I'm not stuffing up this first live stream after I come back from a nice rejuvenating holiday. We have missed your alphas. Thank you so much. Yes, let's analyze the price of Bitcoin. Let's look at liquidity. Let's go through Bitcoin dominance. Let's look at CVD. Let's look at some of the favorite or some altcoins that I see some strength that potentially are at great load up zones. Okay. So quite a jam-packed show today, and let's do this. Let's do this. Wow, hi 𝗬 Valerie, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thanks for having me back. It's great to be back. I am ready for the alpha. I've reset my brain. I have enjoyed myself, and I feel ready for action. Let's do this. Let's do this. Glad that you're back, D. Always so helpful to us. Thank you so much. Let's get right into the action. Okay, so let me do. Again. Okay, there we go. There we go. Thank you so much. No sound. Irina, welcome, welcome. Now you should be able to hear me. Right. Let's go. Let's go. Legends, what is happening here with the price of Bitcoin? Okay, so I went away and we were trading here somewhere. And then I came back and now we are, what? Let me just do this. We are 10% and currently 5%. Okay, so not bad, not bad. I mean, the world's coming to an end. The bull market is cancelled. These are some of the tweets that I'm reading on social media. We're going back to $20,000, $30,000, potentially even $9,000. These are the things that I'm reading down here. People see green candles and we're going to $100,000. People see red candles to the downside and we're going back down to $10,000. It never ceases to amaze me how emotionally charged the market is. Okay. What I want to go through here is just higher time frame quickly. Let's just do a recap of, let's zoom out and see where we are from a higher time frame perspective. Okay. So first thing we have to acknowledge from a value area or a range perspective, okay, we are now once again outside of the range. Okay, we had a massive deviation here to the downside. We had some deviations to the top side, and for now the range is still intact. Okay, and we can range for a little bit longer before we see a breakout to the upside or momentum loss to the downside. So from a bullish perspective, what you want to see as from a higher time frame perspective is you want to see us claim the value area low again. Okay, once we reclaim the value area low, this can be considered another deviation, and then your range traders, what they will do is they will long and they will take profits at the value area high once again. Okay, they long, they short, they long, and they short once again. Okay, so $62,823 seems to be the level to crack for bullish continuation here to the upside. As per the thumbnail, is there a short squeeze on the cards? I see massive liquidation levels above $71,000, $72,000, around about this area over here. So definitely, you know, price gravitates towards liquidity, and there are massive amounts of liquidity here to the upside. So potentially a nice little reset of the longs. And now we on our way here back to the upside. I also see some of the altcoins are showing tremendous strength, holding their levels, also with Bitcoin dominance dropping here to the downside, losing trend once again. Okay, so let's tackle that situation in a moment. Right, legends, before I left, okay, I will tackle Vanry in a moment. Just listen. I will tackle Vanry in a moment. I think I am actually... Oh, not Vanry, VRA. I actually took a VRA trade. Anyways, I'll get to that in a moment. Before I left, and I'm not sure whether I shared it here on the live stream or whether I shared it inside the Discord, I spoke about a couple of Elliott wave scenarios from a bullish and a bearish perspective. It does look like the one is playing out to perfection, and I'll get to that in a moment. Okay. The other thing I just quickly want to highlight over here is 3 of my favorite exchanges that I do my daily trading on. Bluffin, cannot tell you guys enough. Bluffin, one of my favorite exchanges, 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽 and 𝗬𝗫𝗫. And I'm back from leave now. I've taken a nice little break, so I'm going to tackle the Bluffin account again from a copy trading perspective. Okay, so hope you all are joined in there, and I'm going to start nibbling again at the copy trading trades over there. Down in the description, sign up with the link below. You get the biggest sign up bonus depending on how much you deposit and trade. And let's do this. Let's do this. No KYC for a very, very long time. This is what the Bluffin team told us. Okay. Right, legends. Let's quickly do a recap over here. I want to tackle, was it this one? Yes, I want to tackle this bearish scenario over here. I know this is a little bit technical, but it looks like this one could be playing out. Okay, this was one of the bearish Elliott wave scenarios that I shared before I went on leave. Okay, there was 2. It was this one, and it was this one. This one feels like it could still be valid, but we broke the 786. So from a probability perspective, it looks like this one is the winner for now. So I'm going to focus on this one here at the moment, where we have a larger WXY correction. This morning in the Discord, I also shared why I like this scenario to be a WXY, because this entire structure, legends, is very corrective to me. There's so many problems from an impulsive perspective. And what do I mean by impulsive perspective? When you have impulses to the upside, okay, let me just get myself, when you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything moves in 5 impulsive waves, okay, when you have impulsivity to the upside. There's certain rules that apply, you know, maximum target of 786, taking a flip from the low to the high. And then the 4th wave, maximum target 50% when you take a flip from the low to the high. And then you have fifth wave targets that takes the liquidity above number 3. So there's certain rules that I look at from an impulsive perspective. So when you look at this structure over here, where some people want this to be a 1. And what do I mean by 1? If I zoom out a little bit like this, there's a lot of people that want this structure to look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the bull market to continue to the upside. I personally do not like what I'm seeing inside of this 1, 2. Okay, it's just breaking too many rules. Some of the rules that I don't like, for example, is that if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because remember each Elliott wave has 5 waves inside of it. Okay, there's problems inside of this area, and I'm not going to go into too much details. There's a double 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then the second 1, 2 is larger than the first one. I don't like it. Okay, also, what is this? Why is the 5th wave truncated? Truncated 5th waves in Elliott wave theory are extremely rare. Okay, I don't think I've ever personally seen it on the price of Bitcoin. So what you would have wanted to see is a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C to the downside. This looks corrective. This looks corrective. Okay, so this makes sense to me without going into too much detail and trying to confuse the crap out of everything over here, is that this structure looks corrective to me, and therefore it potentially fits a WXY corrective structure where we could now potentially be forming a 1, 2, 3 to the upside. Okay. Before we all just get very excited and we're going to go to all-time highs from where we are right now, the one thing that I do want to point out is that you will see that I have a little green box over here. Okay, Y wave targets can be the 1-to-1 ratio, which is a very common Y wave target. So the end of the correction could be here. There's a high probability, but it could also fall up until the 1.236, which is $54,000, 420. It can still come down and grab the liquidity below this low. Okay, where you're failing to break up, you make one more low to the downside, and then you continue momentum back to the upside. Okay, so I just want to highlight that we can still come back down further for a Y wave to $54,000. Right, but I do like this structure because this looks corrective, and it could mean that we are potentially building a first wave for a larger third wave here to the upside. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and you guys get the picture. Okay. Right, so from a larger time frame perspective, legends, I just quickly wanted to highlight this scenario over here to say that there's a possibility that this could be the low for now. Okay. There's a slightly lower probability that we could come down and claim the low again for then continuation to the upside. But nonetheless, I feel, and it looks, okay, maybe let me not use the word feel in technical analysis. From a technical perspective, okay, it looks like the low is close, if not already in. Okay. I do not see a scenario where we are just going to tank down from here. It doesn't feel right. And the reason I say that, legends, is just bear with me for a second over here. Let me switch this off. When you go into the daily time frame, okay, a lot of people are looking at this entire structure here from a bearish perspective, and I see it trending all over X and Twitter and from a social perspective, a lot of people are looking at this as a B, C, okay, where this was merely a corrective structure here to the upside. This was the end of a B wave, and now we are going to tank down. But when I zoom into this structure, you now need to start building impulses to the downside. You now need to start building impulsive waves to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, 1, 2, you guys get the picture. So what doesn't feel likely about the scenario is that when I go into this structure over here, okay, I now need to see signs of impulses to the downside. So what it basically means is this now needs to be a 1, 2, 3, okay? And now there's a problem. There's a little bit of a problem over here, because when you take a fib from this high to the low, you drag it across. I've said this so many times, legends, is that if this is a 1, 2, you want the maximum target to be by the 786 for continuation, for impulsive continuation to the downside. And we have tapped the 0.88, decreasing the probabilities that this is an impulse structure to the downside. Okay, so all just a game of probabilities, but I'm just trying to figure, you know, when you look at the larger time frames and everyone is saying that this is a B wave, this thing over here is a B wave, and we are going to make a massive C wave to the downside that can take us as low as $9,000. Well, this is not a great wave one. Okay, you need to now form a 1, 2, 3 here to the downside, and this is already looking dodgy. Okay, to form impulses to the downside. It's not invalidated, it's just it doesn't look great. Okay. So for now, what I'm seeing over here, from a technical perspective is this is all still corrective, and because we tapped the 0.88, taking a fib from the high to the low over here, it increases probabilities that you're most likely going to come and take this high before you go to $9,000 like everyone else is saying. Okay, so there's still a chance that you could make impulses to the upside, grab the liquidity above the high, and then we'll reassess the options when we get there. Right, legends. So I'm also doing this for my own sanity here at the moment because I've been away. So I'm just looking at the larger time frames to see, well, where are we? Do we have reason to be afraid? Do we have reason to be scared? And for the moment, it still looks healthy. This still all looks as part of a corrective structure. Okay, so now the question is trading. You know, everyone wants trading setups, and what is the probabilities from here moving up or moving down? And also, when I now zoom into, let's do this. Okay, I'm going to go through this one by one. Doop. Okay, I know this looks a bit confusing. I want to actually switch this one off. Right, let's go on to the 1 hour time frame. These were some of the things that I was looking at this morning. Okay, so looking at the low over here to the highs that we've made over here, you can see that we've now bounced on the 0.88, okay, which also lowers the probabilities that you are just going to shoot up here for third wave to the upside. Okay, do you guys see all the problems with the structure? This looks corrective. This looks corrective. We've now tapped a rare target for this to be a second wave, to complete, you know, to start a third wave here to the upside. So perhaps we're going to range for a little bit longer. It really looks to me like if I look at this structure over here, it looks like everything just needs to move up a little bit. It looks like the scenario that needs to play out over here is we need to form another 1, 2, and bounce at the maximum target of the 786 so we can fulfill the rules. I want to see clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to see a nice little ABC correction here. And then it's game on for a third wave here to the upside. So we can range for a little bit longer. Okay. Okay, I'll go through the comments now. Sin Games, I see you. Welcome to the stream. Marvin, I think there is a CM gap at $9,000. Yes, but a lot of CME gaps do not get filled. Okay. Right. So now the question is, do we move up or do we move down from here? The one thing I did take into account is when I came back last night and I looked at the charts, I spoke about, I'm not sure if you guys were here during my last live stream before I went away, I spoke about the range low. The range low. Do you guys remember me talking about this? And from a probability perspective, I said, you want to see us tap this level once and then price needs to move away. When you tap the range low line for a second time, you increase the probabilities that you are going to come fill the gap. And that's exactly what happened. And we even went down lower. You can see we had the bounce. And for those of you that took the trade, congratulations. We tapped it for a second time. We broke down. We retested it as resistance and we filled the gap. Okay, so these range lows and range high strategies are extremely powerful. I cannot tell you guys how accurate they are, okay? Nothing is 100% guaranteed in this market, but during this entire move here, there was range low and range high strategies that just continuously played out to perfection, abiding by all the rules. Okay. So purely from an education perspective, I mean, this was such a critical level. You had the 50% fib level. You had, when you take a fib from this low to the high, there was a 0.618. It was the range low. And I think I also mentioned to you guys to say that, well, when there's so many levels of confluence, what I usually see is that you either front run the level where I thought that this would be the SFP. When we had this, if SFP would carry us away, or you break it. You either front run it or you break it. And we broke it. Okay. It's very seldom that I see high levels of confluence and many people watching a level and it just plays out to perfection and we continue momentum to the upside. Okay, So you either front run it or you break it, and that's what happened. We broke it. Okay, now, beautiful bounce yesterday here from the 0.88, and I actually watched this price action played out last night. I didn't want to take any trades. I just got back home, just switched on my PC, and we were dumping here to the downside, and I saw this. I saw a nice little daily level in confluence with the 0.88. Let me just go into the daily time frame, make sure that I've got all my levels marked out to perfection. Okay, let's zoom in here. Okay, so we have an untapped daily level on top. Perfect. We have an untapped daily, still fine, still fine. New fresh daily level, well, not fresh, also daily level here by $64,000, 240. And then we have this daily level over here. Can you guys see how beautifully we tapped the level and we got a bounce? Beautiful. Here we have a daily and a weekly level in confluence with each other. And when you go into the high, the 1 hour time frame, I like, you know, when things play out to perfection, you know, technicals is just so powerful. I always say that when you break a key level like a weekly and a daily time frame with at least a 15-minute or 1 hour body candle close outside of that line, you're most likely going to continue the momentum in that direction. Okay, so we had the body of the candle close below the line, we came back for a retest and we smacked down. Okay, now what I want to see is we've reclaimed this level from a trading perspective. We have reclaimed the level. There's your range low at the moment, or your range high at the moment. Remember the range low? This is now in reverse. There's now a range high, which we've tapped and broken, and we've closed a high volume candle on a high time frame above the line, which means that we are going to most likely come and fill the gap. Okay, so now it's playing out in reverse. Do you guys see the power of technical analysis? Just it plays to the upside, it plays to the downside. Okay, we have a high volume movement to the downside, and we have a range high at the moment because it's now in reverse. It's not a range low, it's a range high. It's basically the first retracement after you have a massive dump to the downside, the first retracement that you call now your range high. We've tapped it and we've closed high time frame candles above, which means we increase the probabilities of coming to fill this gap. Okay, nothing's ever guaranteed in the market, and that's why we have stop losses to protect ourselves. But for now, also we have broken this level again. We broke it, we retested it, we found continuation to the downside, we tried to pierce it, and now with high volume, we've broken it again. And looks like for now that it might continue momentum here to the upside. Okay. Right, what else? Before I continue, let's go through some comments over here. Mr. Fast, welcome to the stream. Yeah, welcome back. Thanks for having me. Alan Clark, that's better. Just listen. What do you think about VanRe? I'll go through VanRe in a moment. I see a lot of people here asking for VanRe. Okay. What do you think about VanRe? Seen it in your favorites list? Yes, I do have VanRe in my favorites list. And I mean, just to jump here, last night I said I didn't open up any trades, not on Bitcoin, but I just could not help myself to take 3 altcoin trades. I took 3 altcoin trades last night, small positions. It was just, I couldn't help myself. It was just giving me all the right signals, and it was exceptionally good risk management that I could apply. Okay, I took a trade on 𝗬cie𝗂𝗿. And let me just check here on my other screen. I just want to see something. I'll tell you guys now. 𝗬cie𝗂𝗿, I'm already 16% in profit, and I took a trade on VRA. I am 27% in profit, and I took a trade on XTZ, and I'll go through them now. 8% in profit. Okay, so 𝗬cie𝗂𝗿, very simple. The reason I took this trade is, firstly, the first thing I do is I zoom into the larger time frames, and I just took stock of where we are. And I mean, it just looked like it looks like it almost found the bottom over here. And I was like, I just have to nibble, at least from a spot bag perspective, I just have to nibble over here. But then when I started zooming into the smaller time frames, I identified a small little trend here to the downside. This one, where I have my alarm set. I identified the small little trend here to the downside. And then what I also liked about 𝗬liche is that we made a low and we made a higher low. And then when we started nibbling here at this trend, I took a position, and I'm currently up at the moment. And risk management was quite easy. You can see here's my trading setup. I'm not sure if we're going to get to the 0.618. Definitely a possibility, but this is my trading setup that I took here on 𝗬liche. 3 risk to reward. So for every $100 that I'm risking, I'm making $300. Okay. And this is basically the simple reason why I took the trade, trying to catch the breakout. Okay, I'm trying to catch the breakout before the big breakout over here. Okay, I will definitely be taking some profits here by the 50% fib level as well, in confluence with this high, this pivot high over here, because that could be a rejection area. So what I'm eyeing out over here is if 𝗬liche finds the strength here to the upside, okay, in confluence with this trend and the 50% fib level, that could be a rejection area. So I'm planning, depending on what price action I see over here, I might be taking some profits, or if we do find strength to break out, a 618, also a nice little profit taking zone over here. And then depending on what price action I see over here, if it's a nice little clean breakout with high volume kicking in, that could be a retest for continuation to the upside, I might take profits here and add to my position again over there. Okay, managing my trade. Okay, so that's one of the altcoin trades that I took last night. I entered this trade on 𝗬liche, also on VRA. Why? If I zoom out, let's go onto the 12-hour over here. Okay. We took the lows. I mean, we took the lows. And it just looks beautiful. And then purely from a trend line perspective, long down sloping trend. This trend is coming all the way from 4th of March this year. And finally, we broke it. Okay, when I zoom into the smaller time frames, I also saw the double bottom over here. Where's my pen? Double bottom. Okay, we started breaking this trend. We actually closed a 4-hour candle. The tip of the body of the candle closed above the trend, and I said, okay, let's go. Clear invalidation. I have moved my stop loss up just to de-risk myself a little bit, and now I'm currently 27%. I mean, I only took 2.4x leverage. I'm not being crazy and irresponsible with my trades. This was a 2.4x leverage trade for me with less than 0.5% of my capital, and I'm almost 28% in profit. So very happy about this trade last night. Okay, and then XTZ. Let's go and look at XTZ over here. Reason I also took XTZ, this is just some scribble from this morning when I explained the trade to our Legends trading community. Also, when I zoom into the 12-hour, do you guys see same recipe, the same recipe? You know, it's nothing special that I've applied to each different coin. Same recipe. We broke the trend. I also like that we actually went into this week over here in this consolidation area. I like the long week down there. It's just about reading the price action. Okay, when you then zoom in over here, just clean up the brushes exactly like I highlighted. Okay, you made a low, you made a higher low, and based on this higher low, I was like, I'm going to give it a chance. Okay, I think the price was trading in this area over here. I said there's a clear invalidation. I'm going to give it a chance, and with profit taking areas over here. Okay, so the risk to reward just made it worth it for me to say that, well, I'm planning to take profits over here. I entered here somewhere. My stop loss is already moved up a little bit. Let's say 9 risk to reward. For every $100 I'm risking, I'm getting $900 back. Okay, so the risk to reward just made sense to me. It has not broken trend as yet, so I'm actually a little bit early for this trade. Okay, so I want to see what's going to happen with XTZ when we get to this trend line and start breaking it. Okay, so I do like the green volume that's coming in here at the moment as well. Right, What else? What else? 𝗬𝗚. I will go have a look at 𝗬𝗚 here in a moment. Let me see. Where's 𝗬𝗚? Is VRA not 𝗬𝗚? Veracity. Oh, that's veracity. Where is 𝗬𝗚? Why don't I have 𝗬𝗚 here anymore? Okay. USDT. Okay, I do have it here somewhere. I just need to find it. Right, 𝗬𝗚. Oof. Okay, let's look at 𝗬𝗚 over here. Oof, I actually do like this. That's your new trend over there. Okay, 𝗬𝗚 actually doesn't look bad. I mean, we had a massive impulse, long correction, and 786 good bouncing area. If we are speculating on a 1, 2, 3 year to the upside, 786 is a great bouncing zone. It's also in confluence with this consolidation area over here. If we do lose the 786 level over here, we do have this consolidation area at the 0.88. Definitely another load up zone, but it looks good. 𝗬𝗚 really looks good. Okay, and just want to see from a smaller time frame perspective. Okay, made a low, so you could basically say successful SFP. Okay, you had the lows over here, you successfully SFP'd, you tried to go down, okay, to find momentum to the downside, and you got acceptance back above the lows over here. So a successful SFP where you grab the liquidity and you could potentially be building up momentum and strength here to the upside. But the most important trend that I would like us to see break over here is this one, okay, the bigger trend over here. I just want to check if I can't spot anything else. Okay. Not a beautiful trend, but it looks like we've just broken this trend as well. Okay. Break of trend. Volume. An indecision or a decision candle over here. What do they call it? A doji candle over there. And then it decided to move to the upside. It has broken trend. And as long as we stay above trend, things might look good for 𝗬𝗚 here to the upside. Okay. Thanks, man. Much love. Justin, just listen. No problem at all. Okay, cool. So, legends, the one thing I do want to highlight is that there's a lot of altcoins, okay, that looks really good. Okay, 𝗬𝗚 had, which I've just explained, break of trend. When I look at Algorand, okay, and I go, you know, legends, when in doubt, zoom out, okay? When you look at some of these altcoins and you zoom out onto the larger time frames, I really like where Algorand is at the moment, and I'm seeing similar things from many altcoins, is that look at this beautiful support from a consolidation area that we formed during November of 2023. Okay, look at this beautiful support over here in confluence with these highs over here. This is where most of the altcoins are finding support at the moment, at the 786 taken from the low to the ultimate high. And I mean, most of these altcoins had like a 50 to 60% drop here to the downside. This was a 58% drop here to the downside. It's finding support at this consolidation area. It could consolidate for a little bit longer. This is the bigger momentum that I'm tracking here. Just make sure that you've got your alarm set. That's typically where I add to some of my positions if we have a successful breakout. Okay, but I like where they are, specifically from a spot bag perspective. I like these load up zones, and by all means, if we come back down lower, okay, and we bounce on top of these highs over here, by all means, I will be loading up some more. But this is great support where we are at the moment. Okay, I'm seeing this on Algorand, I'm seeing it on 𝗬𝗚, I'm seeing it on XDZ. Okay, XDZ I've already spoken about. Mina protocol. Mina looks good. Mina looks like it had an SFP. Okay, it's back above the low over there, tracking this momentum here to the downside. KDA, another one that I was looking at. I mean, look at the similar price action over here on KDA, for example. consolidation area, beautiful support. That's where we are at the moment. Okay, just tracking the momentum here to the downside. You're making a higher low over there, so it looks like it could go. It looks like it wants to go. Okay, obviously with good risk management, but from a spot back perspective, this is where I'm very interested, and this is where I start nibbling. Okay, right, legends. Also, as always, remember Bluffin, Bybit, and 𝗖𝗍𝗂𝗍, this is where I do my trading on, where you qualify for the biggest sign-up bonuses and fees. Legends, I think my camera is about to die. I just need to plug it in here quickly. Let me do this. Sorry for this. Sorry for this. Let me do this. Okay, don't want my camera to die. Right, there we go. There we go. My camera almost died. Right, legends. Bluffin, no KYC for a very long time. I'm also going to start doing the copy trading there. I'm going to really focus. I want to make some money over there for all of us. So I was away, and it has been standing still, but I'm going to focus here on Bluffin, where you can copy my trades. No KYC, Bybit and 𝗖𝗍𝗂𝗍, so I'll be focusing on that again. Right. Before I dive in any further, let's go through some comments. Slajan, hi 𝗬𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗍, hi, welcome to the stream. I took a trade on Mina. Can you check, please? I think I just went through Mina briefly. I also took a trade on. I added Mina. You know, no financial advice as always, legends, but I added to my spot bags from a Mina perspective. I really like the massive dump here to the downside. I like that we are finding support above these highs over here. Okay. I also like the SFP. What I mean by the SFP, if I zoom into the smaller time frames over here, I like this, okay, where you've made a low, and you have swing failured from the low, meaning that you tried to break down and you failed to break down, and you have SFP'd from the low. So this could be a sign of strength. So I just had to add a little bit here to my spot bags when I see price action like this, in anticipation for the strength to be broken at some stage. Okay, and if we, you know, and I do accept that we can go down lower. I do accept that, and then I will just be adding more. But I don't want to be that person where price runs away from me over here and then I'm buying over here. I don't want to buy over there. I want to buy at the lowest prices possible. Okay, and this swing failure pattern over here looks really great. So no financial advice, but I have added Mina, a little bit more Mina to my spot bags this morning. Okay, so I really like that price action. I like a SFP from the lows, for that specifically that low over there. Okay, I also like the green volume that is starting to kick in here on Mina. And I also like, what I really like, is that Bitcoin dominance looks like it is losing strength. Crypto Big Brains, what is the story with ADA? Yes, I've got ADA over here. Okay, same story, right? Just waiting for the price action to load up over here. Any day today. Okay, cool. Can you guys see this? Is, I actually analyzed ADA first, and then I saw this consolidation area. And the significance, I just want to explain to you guys what is the significance of this consolidation area, is that this was resistance. Okay, this was, okay, let me just take this out, grab my Koki. This is the significance of this area, is that from the price action over here, you had massive resistance. Okay, price struggled to break through. It even here, it struggled to go higher, and it kept on failing. Then you tried again, resistance, you failed. Then you tried, and you broke through. Finally, you broke this massive resistance level over here. Now you had a massive pump here to the upside, and you are now coming back for a retest for the first time since you've broken that level. So since December 2023, when you broke this level, you're only coming back for a retest now, and now we are at this zone again for a retest. And for me, this is a beautiful RS flip opportunity where you've now flipped resistance into support, where you could potentially get a bounce here to the upside, okay, because you've already broken the area. Right. So this is why I'm so interested in some of the altcoins that have this consolidation area, because it looks like it's a bouncing area for me, okay? And I don't want to miss out on the opportunity. So that's why I'm adding it to my spot bags. Okay, we are also, when I take a fib extension from the high to the low over here to the high over there, which is basically an A, B, C here to the downside, we are currently at a common C wave target and we are trading above it. We've wicked below, but we are trading above the 1.236, which is a common C wave target. So the probabilities of getting a bounce in this zone is high. Okay, it's not guaranteed, but it's high. If we lose the support area, then the next load up zone is 29 cents on Cardano. Okay, I do acknowledge it, and I will be here buying, which is then the maximum C wave target of the 1.618. Right, so if we lose this area, I would be more than happy to add a little bit more, but we might not get it. Okay, this is why I'm adding in this zone, because we might not get it, because you're going to have traders that are waiting for the 1.618 level, and then it bounces here by the 1.236 because it's also a common C wave target, and then they are forced to buy in at higher prices because the price ran away from them. Right, so that's basically the situation on ADA. Hope I answered your question, Mr. Big Brains. Okay, what do you mean spot bags? Please elaborate. Spot bags basically means spot entries, 1-to-1 ratio, no leverage, which means I cannot be liquidated. So if you sign up with Bluffin or 𝗬cie, one of the exchanges that I've got down in the description, you can go and buy spot bags. So you can buy $10 worth of Bitcoin, for example, and you actually own that Bitcoin. You can transfer it out of the exchange into a different wallet, for example. You cannot be liquidated. You actually own the tokens for that coin that you are buying. Leverage trading is you don't own anything. It's just mimicking the price, and you've got liquidation levels and high fees and those type of things. So from a spot bag perspective, I like to add in zones like this because it's a great load up zone. And I won't get liquidated if price does this to me. Okay, there's no liquidation price. Right. So that's what I mean by spot bags. Spot bags basically means is the simple answer is you buy at a 1-to-1 ratio. It's like buying gold or silver through an exchange with no leverage. Okay. What do you think about Moon River? Is it Moon River? MOVR? I think it's Moon River, if I'm not mistaken. I do like the project. I think I remembered from the previous cycle. I do have it here somewhere. Yeah, Moon River. MOVR. I do like it, but it is a high risk token. So I don't have Moon River in my portfolio. Actually, I did have a big bag. I sold it to buy some other altcoins. But if I'm not mistaken, and I'm speaking under correction, I think Moon River is the DEX for AVAX, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I mean, that is the trend that I'll be tracking. I can see it has low liquidity because of all the wicks and stuff. Okay, high risk token. I mean, if you're bullish on the fundamentals, yeah. Personally, if I had to buy Moon River, I would wait, and we might not get there. Okay. I want to see at least claim this low over here. You want to see go down below swing failure pattern. That's like my minimum requirement. This is where I will load up if I see the acceptance back above at least this low. Ideally, this is a great load up zone. If the price of Moon River had to come down and bounce on this area over here, that is where I'm more interested in Moon River. Okay. Not to say that we can't have the bounce from where we are right now. It's just because I'm picky, I want to see a swing failure pattern, at least from this low over here, because I don't see support over here. I just don't see support. The only support I see is inside of this consolidation area. So let's see how this plays out. Right. I would like to ask you if you can explain the risk to reward because maybe I never understood it. Because if I open a $100 trade and my risk to reward is 1.3, I never made $300. Okay, AG, let me quickly explain it. Okay, so let's go here onto Bitcoin. For those of you that are interested, it's a very good question. Okay, risk to reward. Let's make friends with this tool. Long and short position, risk to reward. Okay, this is my favorite tool, and you'll see I always use it when I enter trades. I use it to calculate my risk, where I'm going to take profits, and why I am entering the trade. I call it the 3W strategy. You have to know the 3 Ws before you enter any trade. And if you do not know all 3 Ws, you should not enter the trade. Okay, why am I entering the trade? Where is my risk? And where am I going to take profits? If you cannot tick all 3 of these boxes, you should not enter the trade. Because I often get people on a live stream, for example, that tell me, I've entered a trade, where must I take profits? Then I'm like, well, you shouldn't have entered the trade if you don't know where to take profits. Or where should I put my stop loss? I was like, well, you shouldn't have entered the trade if you don't know where to put your stop loss. Okay, so I know I'm going off track a little bit here. I just like to educate. Risk to reward, okay? My minimum risk to reward that I like to use is at least a 2 to 1. Let's get it there. There we go, okay? It just means from a simplicity perspective, I'm using $100. If I have a $100 trade at 1x leverage, and this trade plays out to perfection, okay? Price action does this, okay, for example, and I entered over here, okay? I had my stop loss somewhere here, and I actually hit my take profit zone. If I entered with $100 over here, and I hit my take profit zone, it means I will make $200, okay? And I'm risking $100. Right, I hope that makes sense. But now, what you also need to take into account is from your trading account perspective, I do not like to lose more than 1% of my capital. So this stop loss is 1.28% away, for example. Let me just take the scribble here out the way. Okay, so from a risk to reward, it just means that whatever you are risking inside of the trade, you need to make at least double what you are risking. From a minimum perspective, my preferred trades is a 3 risk to reward. That's my preferred trades. Okay. If you have a 3 risk to reward with every single trade and you lose 5 trades, but you win 5 trades, you will still be a profitable trader. Because when you're winning 3 times as much as you are losing. And when you are losing less than what you are making. Okay. So even if you lose 6 trades and you win 4 trades, you are still a profitable trader if you stick to your risk to reward rule, for example. But then I have another rule that says I am not allowed to lose more than 1% of my portfolio per trade. Okay. So if I have $1,000 portfolio, it means that I am not allowed to lose, what is it, 1% of $1,000, $10, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I'm not allowed to lose more than $10 per trade. So if my stop loss is 1% away, I feel like I'm making it too complicated over here. If I have, okay, it might be the other way around. Sometimes I'm dyslexic. If I have $1,000 account, okay, and I'm not allowed to lose more than 1% per trade, okay, and the stop loss is 1% away, it means that I can trade with $1,000 at 1x leverage. And if my stop loss hits, I only lose 1% of my capital. If your stop loss is 0.5% away, then you can trade with 100% of your capital at 2x leverage. I hope that makes sense. This is the safest way to trade. Okay, and this is how most professional traders that are profitable traders trade around the world. Some traders will go up to 3% or even 5% of their capital, depending on the trading setup and how confident they feel in the trade. But as a rule of thumb, you should never risk more than 1% loss of your entire portfolio per trade. Okay, and depending on how far away your stop loss is, you will know how much leverage you can apply. If your leverage is 2% away, it means that you can trade 50%, you can trade $500 at 1x leverage. Okay, that's the rule. That's how you stay in the game. Small, consistent gains. This is how you stay in the game. A lot of people take this $1,000 and they go and 20x, 10x, the entire account. And even if the stop loss is 1% away, they lose 10 or 20% of the entire portfolio. And after 3 or 4 or 5 losses, you're out the game. Your account's gone. Okay. And they also don't apply the risk to reward. So even when they lose 5 trades and they win 5 trades, if your risk to reward is a 1-to-1 ratio like this the whole time, I mean, you have to then, for you to be a profitable trader, to apply this risk to reward, a 1-to-1, it means that you have to win 6 trades and lose 4 trades in order to stay profitable. Where if you only go after trades that has a 2 to risk to reward or a 3 to risk to reward, it means that you can lose more trades, but your winning trades will keep you profitable. I hope that makes sense. Okay, right. Hope everyone understood the little bit of education over here. Make friends with this tool. I cannot express to you guys how important this tool is. Right? Before I enter a trade, I will use that tool like I've done here with, what was it? Was it VRA? Sometimes I take them out in preparation for the live streams. 𝗬cie𝗂𝗿. Was it 𝗬cie𝗂𝗿? Yes, here we go. Okay, I planned my trade. When we broke the trend, I wanted to know where is my stop loss? Why am I entering the trade? Break of trend. I like the higher lows over here. I know where to put my stop loss. We're breaking the trend. That is why I'm entering. Where are you taking profits? I'm taking profits in these 2 zones over here. My risk to reward is 3-to-1, a little bit over 3-to-1. Okay, and I have already moved up my stop loss a little bit to de-risk myself even further. Okay, I've already moved up my stop loss. Okay, you have to make friends with this tool over here. Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Pleasure, pleasure. I use 100 leverage. Am I wrong, or have I never understood how to use it? I'm going to, well, the one thing I can tell you, when I say, you know, you should never risk more than 1% of your capital, I have seen traders that will use 1%, okay, of their capital at 100x leverage. This means even if you get liquidated on this position, you've only lost 1% of your capital. So there's many ways to skin the cat. The rule that you have to remember is that you should not risk more than 1% of your portfolio per trade. Don't do that. You're going to lose your account and bleed out before you become successful and consistent. Okay, you have to be consistent. Consistency means that you only risk 1% per trade every single time. And you can have a checklist. So I, for example, have a checklist to say that, well, if I have bullish CVD, if we are at a critical day level, the more boxes, okay, I tick when I enter a trade, it also tells me how much risk I can apply. So with some trades, I will risk even 3% of my capital. But then I'm ticking a lot of boxes from a confluence perspective, meaning the probabilities of the trade playing out in my favor is high. When I'm entering a trade and I can only tick 1 or 2 boxes, I will sometimes even enter with 0.5% of my capital. So the more boxes I tick from my trading checklist, the more risk I can apply. And the less I tick, the less risk I take on. Okay. I hope this makes sense. Right, legends, GRT entry. Let's go have a look at GRT. I haven't had a look at GRT in quite some time. Let's do this. GRT USDT. Mr. GRT. Okay. Let's zoom out, see where we are. We are finding support above these highs. but it feels like it can come down a little bit lower. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, from an Elliot wave perspective, it's not really clear. Okay, I mean, keeping things simple, you have a trend. Okay, let's put a fib from this low to the high. It feels like we're still in the middle of nowhere with GRT. I would like, you know, and this is what I saw when I just opened it up. I would like for us to come and bounce inside of this consolidation area a little bit deeper. I would like GRT, and I'm very picky, okay? I would like GRT to come down and bounce here by the 786 inside of this consolidation area. This is where I will be interested. I'm not interested in GRT where it is at the moment. It's between the 618 and the 786, which is considered the golden zone. But I would personally like it to retrace a little bit deeper before I get interested from a spot bag perspective. Okay, from a trading perspective, let's go on to, okay, let's see. If there's an internal, I also like to find little trends that needs to be broken before the big breakout. So if in doubt, right, you don't care. This is what I like about trend lines is I don't care what happens here. Where the price goes sideways, whether it dumps here to the downside, I'm simply tracking the momentum, and I will, when my alarm goes off, then I will observe the price reaction and see what happens when we break the trend. Okay, so just keep an eye on this trend over here. But at the moment, for me, GRT is in a no trading zone. I do like what I am seeing over here. Okay, I don't just want to be negative. I do like this SFP from the low over here. Okay, I think it was Moon River that I said that I would like to see the SFP acceptance back above, and now this looks like the retest. So, okay, keep an eye on this trend. Keep an eye on this trend, because there's a possibility that it can find upwards momentum here, because you've already swing failured from this low over here. But I would be interested over here. Okay, but let's see how it reacts here at the trend line. Okay. Right, it kind of reminds me of the XTZ position that I've taken. Higher low, you know where your invalidation is, you're waiting for the break of the trend, you have a swing failure from the low over here. So, but I mean, purely looking at it, it's not as beautiful as XTZ for me, because XTZ has retraced further to the downside. It just feels like it needs to come down a little bit further. But I mean, GRT is very, very bullish. Okay, so it could be one of those that's going to front run. And that's perhaps the sign over there. Okay, that it's failing to claim this low. And it's already grabbed the liquidity below this low. And it's already made a higher low over here. So it could continue momentum here to the upside. Right, so there's your quick and dirty analysis here on GRT. Okay, right, legends. Let me see if I missed any comments over here. Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Great lesson. Thanks in advance. Cheers. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, that's basically it from my side. I will see you guys in the next one. It's great to be back. Thanks for joining. I appreciate every one of you. And then let's see how price action develops over the coming weeks. I'm excited for where price is at the moment for Bitcoin. It looks like it wants to find a bounce here to the upside. Okay, let's see what happens over here. Green volume is still in favor of any red volume or purple volume in my case. Okay, so we have tapped the range low over here, or the range high, increasing the probabilities that we're going to come fill the gap over here. Let's see if this momentum can continue. Another thing that I wanted to look at here quickly is CVD. Before I say goodbye, is do we have bullish CVD to confirm momentum to the upside? Yes, we do. I have on blue, not on yellow just as yet. But so far, I don't see any bearish CVD. So there's still a chance, okay? And what I do like about this structure over here, legends, is that from what I'm seeing here on CVD at the moment, there was a lot of bullish CVD confirming momentum here to the upside, especially during this zone over here, where CVD was going down and price was moving up, confirming momentum here to the upside. And even if price had to find further continuation here to the downside, I can just imagine CVD, bullish CVD on both yellow and blue. So this structure still looks bullish at the moment. Okay, cool legends. That's it from my side today. Until the next one, cheers for now.